This is it, guys, the final video of Nozomber, and I figured that we should end it with something simple because I'm still recovering from all that tryptophan, and I know that's not really something that actually happens, but you know what? I'm tired, all right? It's been a long-ass weekend, and all I have in me is a mini timeline. So let's take a look at Dead Snow! Dead Snow, all right? Yeah, it's so sleepy. The snow began to fall back in 2009 with Dead Snow from Norway, otherwise known by its Norwegian title, Dod Snow? It was directed by Tommy Wirkola, who has since moved into American films and did Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters, and the soon-to-be-released Violent Night. It's got 7 students on their way to an Easter vacation up in the snowy mountains.
Hei! Jeg må spørre nå. Hvor mange filmer starter med at det en gjeng med folk som på hyttetur uten å ha dekning på mobilen?
Like all of them. They get to their cabin and party it up, but that night a mysterious stranger shows up and tells them that a group of Nazis occupied the area during World War II, and when it was over, they looted the town before being attacked by the locals. The Germans were led by a man named Herzog, who fled with his remaining crew into the mountains, and they were presumed dead. He leaves and is later killed, but Vegard discovers the body, but ends up knocked unconscious. Meanwhile, the group finds a box full of treasure inside their cabin, and they say it's from 1942, and it's been there for 50 years. But I think they're just saying a number, because I don't think this is 1992, and they just mean over 50 years. Something starts showing up, and they kill Chris, and then Erland, making their presence known to the group. Vegard finds their base and discovers what I've been saying all along. Your best friend in a zombie invasion is layers. Liv is killed but manages to take a couple down with her, and Hannah falls off a cliff. She survives though, and meanwhile, back at the cabin, Martin and Roy face off against a crew of zombies, with Vegard acting as the cavalry. More show up and kill him, and during the fight, Martin accidentally kills a returning Hannah. Then he's bitten, so, Ash style, he cuts off his own arm. Herzog then calls up an entire army of the dead, so the boys beat feet, with Roy getting killed. Martin realizes they were merely looking for their gold, so he returns the box to them and is let go. Unfortunately, he still has a gold coin in his pocket, and Herzog appears. The movie never gives us a date except for the 50-year thing, but I think that real time is fair, so we're going to set it in 2009. The movie ended up getting a bunch of attention, and it may have taken 5 years, but a sequel was made with 2014's Dead Snow 2: Red vs. Dead. It starts with a recap and then picks up right where the last one left off, with Martin attacked in his car. He barely escapes, and this trucker stops to give mouth-to-mouth to Herzog after thinking he ran him over. And I hate to tell you, but if I accidentally run you over and you're wearing a Nazi uniform, if there's not a film crew or reenactment going on nearby, you may just be getting backed over. Herzog's arm gets knocked off and is in the car with Martin, so when he crashes and is taken to the hospital, they think it's his arm and attach it to him. It goes mad and starts attacking while Herzog and crew start heading towards town, getting himself a new arm along the way. Martin breaks out of the hospital and he finds out the zombies are cursed zombies, ones that are gold with completing a task, and calls on an online zombie hunting squad led by Bill Haverchuk, and they go to Norway to buy a bunch of weapons, and their receipt very briefly flashes up that it's 2013. And since the first film was immediately before this one, that's when they're both set. There's also a newspaper here that seems to say 2013 as well, and Roy is back, but he's a new character here. Martin discovers that Herzog's new mission is to destroy the town of Talvik, like he was meant to do back in the war, and they continue their violent march, with Herzog able to turn the victims into zombies by touching them. But Martin discovers that his zombie arm has its own advantages, like super strength and also reviving the dead to make his own zombie army. The zombie squad comes up with the idea of bringing back a squad of dead Russian soldiers in the mountains while Herzog's crew starts slaughtering the town, and they revive the Ruskies. They rise, and their leader is a dude named Stavarin, played by Derek Mears, the remake Jason, and Martin manages to get the town evacuated, but Herzog doesn't care. And they bring out their forces, leading to a huge face-off, hence the Red versus Dead title, even though in this case the Red is also dead. The battle rages on, with the Nazis gaining the upper hand and kill Stavarin. They realize that if they kill Herzog, all the rest will die, so Martin takes him on, and they end up fighting on the tank, where Daniel ends up blowing the Nazis' head off. All the zombies collapse, and the day is won. Martin decides to use his power to bring Hannah back from the dead, although it's a little iffy that she'd be in a grave already, considering the short amount of time between the two films, unless Martin was in the hospital for longer than it seems. Anyway, her gravestone absolutely confirms the 2013 date, and she died in April, even though it says she was born in 1987, so she'd be 26, but that earlier newspaper showed her age as 30, but that paper just got it wrong is all. She's revived, and the two have sex. A post-credit scene reveals that Herzog is not quite dead yet, but no further entries arrived. So there you have it, Dead Snow, 2 movies, pretty good timeline. I'm really, just really sleepy. I hope you like that. I hope you like these movies. They're fun. They're really fun, enjoyable movies. I had a fun time watching them. The second movie gets a little bit too wrapped up, and it's we're gonna be edgy with our humor thing, but it doesn't matter. It's still kind of fun, and I kind of like him. If you liked it, tell me in the comments below. Also, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you get a chance, go to my Patreon page at patreon.com/movietimelines and help support the channel. You can do that. It'd be nice. Yeah. And yeah. Hope you guys had a good holiday weekend. Ate lots of turkey. Good night.